You have been taught that triggers are a bad thing. To avoid them, be careful of what sets you off, that it makes you broken, weak, or damaged. And that is one of the biggest lies that you've probably ever been sold. Here's the truth. Your triggers are not a problem. They are portals. They are keys. It is awareness that your soul leaves behind to show you where the wound is and what needs attention. The reason why you feel so stuck in your healing journey isn't because you don't know your triggers. It's because you've stopped there. You know them. You can name them, you can circle them in a red marker, but you do not know how to master them. And that is the difference between surviving abuse and becoming a narcissist's worst nightmare. I'm Meaghan Webster, an abuse recovery coach, a trauma-informed strategist, and the woman a narcissist hopes to never meet twice. This is the Narcissist's Worst Nightmare podcast, and today we are burning down the Instagram self-help bullshit that tells you just journal about your triggers and awareness is everything. Because awareness without action is actually torture, and you are not here to torture yourself. You are here to set yourself free. Awareness to triggers is the bare minimum. You think that naming your trigger is healing. It is not. It is step one. You say, I know I'm triggered when he ignores me. I know I get triggered when someone raises their voice. I know I spiral when I feel left out. Great. You've spotted the bullet, but you are still standing in front of it. Awareness is the beginning. Healing is a forever journey. It is not a place that you arrive at. It's understanding that this is the work you are required to do in order to feel fully free, completely in love with yourself, unattached to anyone or anything else. The narcissist trained your nervous system to fire at shadows, at anything that feels like abandonment, rejection, danger. Naming it gives you a map, but a map doesn't walk you home. You still have to actually take action and make the move. So here's the soul punch truth. If all you ever do is name your triggers, you're going to keep reliving the same cycle. Because triggers do not magically disappear. You cannot journal them away. You can't have a bubble bath and do some self-care and expect them to disappear. You need to rewire your response to them. Otherwise, they are going to own you forever. Society and social media has triggers very backwards. Society says, avoid your triggers. Social media says, just hit the block button. Your ex says, oh my God, you're triggered, get out of here. And therapists stuck in old models say, let's just desensitize you to them. But here's the thing. It's backwards. It paints them in black and white. Either you must avoid them like poison, or you have to bulldoze through them until you feel nothing. And neither set you free. You actually have to go through them, because triggers are not meant to be avoided. They are not meant to be conquered by force. They are meant to be understood on a deep level. They are sacred alarms going off in your body saying, hey, this part of you still needs your attention. This wound is still bleeding. And when you listen, when you stop labeling the trigger as bad and start asking yourself, what is it trying to show you? That is when you can start reclaiming your nervous system. But society doesn't want you to do that. The black and white thinking is easier. Good or bad, avoid or expose. And that keeps you stuck in a loop. It keeps you dependent on systems, therapies, and surface level fixes. Here's your holy fuck awakening. Your triggers are neither your enemy nor your master. They are a map. If you avoid them, you're going to stay lost. If you misuse them, you're going to continue to re-traumatize yourself. But if you learn how to read them, really read them, they become a trail back home to yourself. The work that we do inside of the RRR membership is not a Band-Aid fix. I want to talk to you about soul level understanding of triggers. Forget the surface level bullshit like write it down or track it in a journal. That is literally child's play. I am talking about holy fuck soul opening awareness. The kind that makes you stop mid-spiral, put your hand on your chest and say, wait, this isn't about now. This is about back then. This is the part that cracks people open, because here's the deal. You are not triggered by what's in front of you. You are triggered by a memory that is stored in your body that today's moment is taking a poke at. When your ex doesn't text you back, your body is crying about this one text, but it's remembering the abandonment of being left alone as a child, crying for comfort that never came. When you feel your blood boil at criticism, your rage isn't at this one comment. It's stored years of pain, of never enough, seared into your nervous system. When your body freezes at someone raising their voice, it's not this argument. It's the echoes of the screams that you were taught to shut down or be destroyed. That's why just naming the trigger is not enough. You can name it all day and still drown in it. Soul level understanding is connecting the dots. This moment is pulling on a thread with me that is woven from decades ago. You can't just journal that shit. You have to feel it in your bones. You need to breathe into the part of you that was back then, the 6-year-old still waiting for safety that never came. And you have to decide, I'm going to show up for her right now. I'm going to give this to myself now. And that is where the shift happens. That is holy fuck healing. A lot of my clients ask me how to heal through triggers in the moment if they're still experiencing active abuse. Here's the thing. You don't heal by thinking about triggers in hindsight. You heal by facing them in the fire. When I broke up with my ex-husband, I was having a really hard time with memories on my phone, certain songs, certain areas of my town, seeing his car. And I sent a voice message to a girlfriend and I said, dude, I'm having such a hard time. These are the things that are happening, but I'm running, I'm eating well, I wrote myself a love letter, etc. And she said, Meg, the only way you are going to move through this is if you take what's happening in front of you and you face it head on. And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, like, wow, I didn't actually realize that I was being avoidant to what was happening. My body was literally telling me this needs attention. And my fear was that I was going to get sucked into an emotional cycle, depression, sadness, crying, grief, and I decided to avoid it. So the reason why I always tell my clients we have to grow through it, we have to face the triggers, we have to face the things that we are afraid of most to move on because we want to live a free life. The only way that you're going to unlock the cage that abuse has created for you is if you face it, understand the trigger that comes with it because it's not that moment, it's something that happened in your past. So how can we connect ourselves, that trigger today, with something before and our inner child and give her what she needs right now so we can grow into the healing space that we are safe. We can validate our own experience. We lean into self-safety and we trust women around us that can see things that we cannot. This is how you start reclaiming your nervous system. The core principle of it is when the trigger hits, you have a 10-second window that decides everything. 10 seconds to collapse back into the old wound or grab your power with both of your hands. 10 seconds to reenact that trauma or to go and rewrite the script. 10 seconds to let your abuser live rent-free in your nervous system or kick them the fuck out. Healing in the moment looks like this. Planting your feet on the ground and telling your body that you are safe now. Taking a deep breath, deliberately open your mouth, name that truth inside your head. This feels like this experience, not now. I am no longer powerless over this person, place, or thing. Choosing to walk away for 5 minutes instead of detonating and hating yourself later. And let me tell you, if you are experiencing active abuse, even if your partner at the time is a dickhead, that is not easy. This is psychological warfare. It feels like it's ripping out your nervous system out of an old cage and forcing it into freedom. And that silence can be really scary. But it's the only way that you stop being a puppet. This is where your power actually lives. Not in the knowing, not in the journaling, in that 10 seconds where your body says danger and you say, no, I don't live there anymore. And this is exactly what we do inside of the RRR membership. I don't just give you mindset tips. I teach you how to retrain your body because your body does not lie to you. And once your body learns it's safe, no trigger in the world can own you again. I say this a lot on my social media. I know how to heal through anything in the fire. And people think that I'm crazy when I say that. But I've overcome anxiety, depression, insomnia, an eating disorder, alcoholism, codependency, and of course, narcissistic abuse. So here's your takeaway for today. Knowing your triggers is the bare minimum. It is where you start, not where you end. Your triggers are not curses. They are keys. And when you learn to use them, when you stop running from them and start mastering them, you can stop being the narcissist's supply and start becoming their worst nightmare. If this episode cracked something open in you, good. Hit follow or subscribe right now so you do not miss the next one. And I know that you're ready to go deeper. Join us inside of the RRR membership. Your first week is free, by the way. That's on me. We are going to teach you how to not just survive your triggers, but to weaponize them for your healing, your power, and your freedom. Because your comeback doesn't start when the triggers stop. It starts the second you decide to master them. This is the Narcissist's Worst Nightmare podcast. And remember, your healing is the one thing they can't fucking touch.